Nigerian politician and businessman Senator ORJI OZOR KALU, representing Abia North Senatorial District, has served as a two-term governor of Abia State in the southeast of Nigeria. As the Chief Whip of the House of Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he has within 3 years facilitated the construction of over 50 roads in Abia North and has continued to receive torrents of accolades as a result of the massive infrastructural and empowerment projects attracted to Abia North in his first term at the Senate. Elected in 2019, Senator KALU is the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the forthcoming general election for Abia North Senatorial District. He has twice been voted as the best performing lawmaker in the 9th Assembly. He emerged 2022 Best Senator of the Year in Constituency Projects in Leadership and Excellence Awards. The highly coveted award is endorsed by the African Union African Film Institute. Joining us from his home in Camp Neya, Igbere in Abia State is Senator ORJI OZOR KALU of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you very much from Igbere.
Well, Senator KALU, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with your campaign, your expression of support for the presidential candidate of the APC. Are you doing this simply out of party loyalty at a time when many people are saying prominent Igbo leaders, whatever party they may belong to, should be working towards the actualization of Igbo presidency in line with the politics of proximity and justice and fairness, rather than supporting those that have been labeled as outsiders? But you say that you are solidly behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is it just out of party loyalty, or you don't believe in this idea of Igbo presidency?
Well, thank you, Ruben. First of all, there is nothing like Igbo presidency. There could only be a president of Nigeria of Igbo extraction. So, what we are doing, I belong to a political party, as you know, and party politics, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in the US, whether it's in London, anywhere you go to Japan, party supremacy and party loyalty is the first and the last to any man that belongs to his political party.
I thought you were going to talk about your commitment to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because you've been quoted as saying he's well liked in the Northeast, he's well liked in the North, and all of that.
No, the commitment is we are here, we are party people, party is supreme. From the day he emerges as a candidate of the party is supreme, and I belong to the party, and I'm a very senior member of the party in terms of position in the Senate. So, number 4 in the Senate and the majority chief whip of the Senate. So, my loyalty and everything must come to the political party I belong to.
All right, it's wonderful you talk about loyalty, Senator OZOR KALU, because this is quite in question at the moment, especially within the APC. And you have famously talked about the hardship you and your family are facing with the Naira redesign policy, or perhaps Naira scarcity. This is under an APC government. And here you are also talking about the fact that you're supporting Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yet Nigerians are wondering, why should we support a candidate from the APC when they are currently experiencing hardship under the APC? What's your take on this?
Is that Ayo or Iyabo?
It's Ayo. This is Ayo.
Ayo, please, let me tell you, the Naira design is not of APC government. When you go and see subsections of the central bank, you will know that the central bank is purely independent from a political party. What the central bank are doing is purely the central bank that are doing their job. They have nothing to do with my political party. They have nothing to do with anybody in the Senate or anywhere, because we have made a law where we gave ultimate power to the central bank, and the central bank is using this power for the good of Nigerian people, but people are suffering. And I want to tell you, if you want me to be very clear to you, if I was in President Buhari's situation, I would listen to the Supreme Court. I would obey every law, every word that the Supreme Court says, because the rule of law matters a lot. If we want to move forward in this country, we must start obeying courts, from the magistrate court to the high court, federal high court, and to the court of appeal and to Supreme Court. This is court of the land. And once a decision of Supreme Court is done, it's binding, because this is the only court that can do a law made by act of the National Assembly to be amended by their judgment. So for me, every Nigerian is, I'm sure President Buhari himself is also suffering, because there's no money anywhere.
Okay, so Happy New Year and good to see you, sir. What would you say about the internal wars that is happening in your party, the APC? Because a lot of people say your party is fragmented. A faction of your party and some of your governors are fighting President Buhari and APC presidents over this Naira policy that you said, yes, the CBN made it, but was approved by an APC president. Two of your governors, in fact, no, hang on a minute. Let me finish. Your governor, Nasir El-Rufai, APC governor. No, I'm coming now. You're my girl. Happy New Year. Your governor, your governor, Nasir El-Rufai, went out on the day the president made his statement and reneged against the president, saying that his own people in Kaduna State should go ahead spending the same notes that the president said, no, spend 200 naira, we'll bring the old 200 naira notes into circulation. 10 of your governors have taken the APC presidents to court. It's as if the APC is imploding, like a lot of people say, with you people fighting eternally against your president. And your candidates, Bola Tinubu, doesn't want to campaign on the record of your president. In fact, he said they have no brain. They met 200 naira and they made it 800 naira to the dollar. That's what he said during the campaign. So why is your party against President Buhari?
No. My party is not against President Buhari. My party is just respecting rule of law, because we are people. Remember that when I was governor, I was in PDP and I took President Obasanjo. I was the first governor that took President Obasanjo to Supreme Court. It's not anything new for governors to take a president to court for interpretation of the law. And what they have just done is the right thing to do, to go to Supreme Court and ask Supreme Court, is this right or wrong? And I think if I was one of the advisors of President Buhari, or if I'm sitting on the driver's seat of President Buhari, I will obey the Supreme Court law, because it's the right thing to do. I was having a project in Abahia in 2001, Oboyero to be precise. I was building a tunnel from Area Market to come to Port Harcourt Road and go to Waterside to clean up the water that is still disturbing people till today. A statement of the landlord there took me to court before a court of record, and I obeyed the law, and the law is still there. The water is still submerging their houses, and I'm still here. So it's always good to obey a court of competent jurisdiction and a court of record. So I don't see why, if a court in our land, I am not saying this out of malice. President Buhari have done very well in some areas, he did well, and I'm saying that if I'm his Attorney General, I will advise him to obey the Supreme Court and also go back to the same Supreme Court for review. There's a room that Attorney General, after obeying, they can go back with further facts, telling Supreme Court, please, I need the review of your judgment, so that we can have peace. It's always good for a country, for a state, for local government, for people in authority to obey the orders of courts of record.
Well, Senator KALU, you said party loyalty is supreme and that you believe in party loyalty. but you are running again for the Senate from Abia North. But as recently as December 2022, stakeholders, APC Abia North, accused you of anti-party activities, of working against the interests of the APC governorship candidate in the state, of not showing interest and supporting somebody, the gubernatorial candidate of the APP. And they issued a statement saying that they are going to make sure that they defeat you in this election because all you are working for in Abia North is your own interest and your family interest. Has that matter been resolved? Have you now been able to show them that you are indeed a loyal party man?
Listen, Dr. Akpati, I've never campaigned against my party, and I will not do that. Nobody can say this is where I am saying vote for APP. When my brother wanted to leave, if it's what you are talking about, I can lecture you on that. When my brother Mascot wanted to leave APC, I informed the national chairman of APC, Senator Abla Yadabu. Mascot went to see him, and they could not agree. I informed the deputy national chairman South, and Mascot had either breakfast or dinner with him, and did not agree. And I informed my colleague, who is also deputy national chairman North, Senator Abubakar Kiari, and they had either tea or something. They could not agree. And I informed also the Senate President. In fact, I informed Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who I'm sure spoke to him also. So I have nothing to do with my brother. My brother is an adult. He was chief of staff and is competent, well-educated man, is competent to do whatever he wants to do. I cannot stop him because we are the same father, the same mother. I cannot do that. It's not my son. Running out the same thing. So I don't want to get involved with that. Everything you are saying will be left for Abia people to decide on who they want to vote for. It's not me. I have only one vote, and I'm going to give it to APC. So it depends on who Abia people wants to govern them. That decision will be left for Abia people on the 11th of March, not me.
All right. So as we look at internal wranglings within the APC at the national level or presidential level, apparently in Abia North as well, the APC members there are saying that you haven't represented them well in the Senate, and that the interests you've served, as was earlier mentioned, are yours. Hence, they would not be returning you back. They'd rather support the PDP candidate, Senator Nwabuwa, instead of you. That's how aggrieved they are. So beyond anti-party activities, they're saying that you also haven't represented the interests of Abia North at the Senate. How would you respond to this? And have you been able to convince them to support you rather than the opposition?
Ayo, thank you very much. You know, you just read that I was given an award by the press week of the National Assembly 2 years in rolling as one of the best senator sitting in that chambers. They gave me an award as a best senator in the constituency project. They gave me an award as best senator that have human relations to interact with workers of National Assembly. So I don't know what they're talking about. Not if one or two people decide to call themselves a group. That is a group. I have been endorsed by all the churches here have endorsed my candidature. It's not by fluke. I had the Catholic bishop of my diocese. I have the prelate of entire Presbyterian church. I have the Methodist church, the Anglican church. All of them have endorsed this candidature, and all people have endorsed this candidature. I think we have only a few days to go, and the result will show. You also mentioned that no senator who are putting a lot of infrastructure that I are putting in this senatorial district. This senatorial district has been favored by people in government, and I'm very proud that I represented them to where there were no roads in 100 years, where there have never been road. People who used to carry cups in their heads to go to their villages. and going there. Go to Hafia local government, go to Mundochi local government, go to Squatter local government, come to Bende, and go to Aruchuku local government. The story is the same, because we are not only doing roads. Only 5 days ago, we gave about 496 communities, villages. We gave them cassava grinding machine, because when I was passing, I saw that was in August. I came here for stewardship report to the constituency, and I saw that that was a challenge. Let me tell you, we are running this election as almost consensus candidates. There's nobody. We're going to make 85% of the vote cast on these people. That is the truth.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you here, as a proper party man that you say you are you supporting and endorsing the APC governorship candidate in Abia? That's the first question. And second question, would you like to tell us the political landscape, as regards the presidential election with these, top candidates, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Bola Tinubu, and Kwankwaso? I want you to help us take a temperature of the political candidates and see how, it's going to, how the slants and the political balance is going to pan out in the scenarios in which any of these men emerge. And what is the impact of it be in your senatorial race in your state? But are you going to be on TV endorsing and supporting your APC governorship candidate in Abia as we speak now?
No, listen, even the national chairman knows that it is going to be difficult for me to do. I'm not going to endorse any governorship candidate because my blood brother is running for election. So, and the governorship candidate of APC have not formally informed me that he's running for governor. So how can I endorse what I did not know? I was former governor of this state. All the governorship candidates have been here formally to tell me they are running for election. I have not seen the governorship candidate of APC, so he's running for himself as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not going to stop and nothing to endorse what I don't know. That is the truth. You know me, Dr. Apati, you know me, I stand where I stand, and nobody's going to make me to change my mind. The man has gone openly, campaigning against me. He was in OZOR yesterday. He abused me before the people there. He was with traditional rulers in my village yesterday. He abused me before the traditional rulers, and I accept it. I don't want to be an animal like another animal. I want to be a civilized man. My vote will still remain for the APC, and I am not going to help or follow somebody who have not told me this man bear grudges for the past 24 years. He said that I was the one who stopped him not going to Senate, who stopped him not being governor, who stopped. How can I have only one vote? I have only one vote. They say I am not popular. It's 25th of February. We'll decide who is popular or not. Who will win this polling unit for Bola Tinubu. It's more important to see that happening. I don't want to discuss anything. The man endorsed me. The answer is no. You have your record that the man told people not to vote for me. And he's not from Abia North. And I can go there and tell people not to vote for him. They will not vote for him. Because I was former governor of this state. And I'm very popular among the people of his area. So for me, I'm not better of what he's saying. He was in OZOR yesterday. He campaigned against me. He was everywhere. He campaigned against me. He was in Ohio. He campaigned against me. I have never said any word against him. Not even a word. I have them on record and audio. And I don't want to talk about that because every man must carry his cross. Even if I campaign for him, at the point of voting, the voters have a right to say who they want to vote for or not. I am not going to carry anybody's cross. My brother is running, and my brother is a man, competent man. He's very competent to govern this state. He has more experience than anybody running if Abia people want him. So it's not my duty to say who I will support or not. Let 11th of March comes. Abia people will decide who they want to support. All I know, I am supporting my political party, APC. All the candidates running on the 25th of March are my candidates. And we're going to come out in our senatorial district. We're going to come out very clear.
Okay, so that means, let me take it here. You are not, as an APC party man, number 4 in line in the Senate, APC stalwart, you are not endorsing the APC governorship candidates in Abia State. Instead, you feel your brother will do a better job. Are you going to endorse your brother?
No, that is not what I've told you. No, I have not endorsed anybody. The man have not informed me that he's running for governor. The APC candidate, I'm still waiting for him.
But we take it that you vote.
It's not the tradition, Dr. Pati.
But Senator, we take it that you vote for him. We take it that you vote for him once you have said your vote is for the APC. After all, these votes are for the parties.
I have not made up. Yes, I have not made up my mind on who to vote on the 11th of March. I'm still waiting for him. He has not informed me. Possibly, I'm sure he has not also informed Dr. Uchoga that is running. And we are waiting for him to inform us that he's running for election.
Just a few days to the election. Anyway, let me ask you, the polls have gone this way, that way. Today, some polls will say, oh, it's Atiku that is leading. Some polls will say, oh, it is Tinubu. Some will say, it is Peter Obi. But consistently, most of the polls have looked in the direction of Peter Obi. What do you think of his chances? What do you think he has been able to achieve with his campaign as a highly experienced politician and also someone who understands the landscape across the 6 geopolitical zones?
No, Dr. Apati, please spare me from discussing my friends in your television. P2P is a very close family friend of this family, and we go to the same church. We go to the same Catholic church, and I don't want to get involved talking about P2P. And my daughters and the daughter, the wife, everyone is a one family. So I don't want to discuss Atiku. I don't want to discuss anything. Any question you want to ask me should center on my presidential candidate, who is the incoming president and commander-in-chief. I have no regrets to tell you that this business is not done by tribe. This business is not done by region. This business is not a regional business. This business is about the whole Nigeria. When all Nigerians agree that you will be president, the way all Nigerians have agreed that Bola Tinubu will be president, and that is where we are, and that is where I start.
But how much value do you attach to the polls in terms of permutations, predictions of likely winners?
No, I'm not looking at the polls, because the polls, nobody, let me be honest with you. If I say this, you might get angry. All the people, apart from Tinubu himself, all the people contesting are helping our party. If you come here, the vote that are going to be shared supposed to be a vote of PDP. If you go to North, the vote that's supposed to be shared by Papaso is a vote of PDP. If you come to anywhere you go, but our main base in the North, our main base in Southwest, our main base in Abia, nobody have touched it. So we are solidly, we are going to win about 20 states or 25 states on the stretch. Outright win. Then we'll start talking about 25% to augment what we have. So I have no fear that come February 25th this year, and before midnight, they will announce President Bola Tinubu as a president-elect.
All right. Okay, so that's just putting that side by side, because I hear you that you do not want to speak about Mr. Peter Obi because you're family friends. But you have spoken about your brother in Abia State, and you've talked about the fact that you would be, I'm
not talking about my brother. I say I'm not going to talk about my brother.
Okay, but
remember, you want me to talk about Emenike and my brother. I say I'm not going to talk about two of them. And I'm still waiting for Emenike to bring me the cow, bring me the drinks, and bring me everything to inform me formally that is running for governor. Yes. Then I will call our constituency to inform them.
Okay, so I wasn't actually, the question wasn't about your brother actually. I was just drawing the parallel between the relationship with the presidential candidate. Just to have you, in terms of your statement with regards to his Mr. Peter Obi's chances, especially as you have even mentioned the fact that you know him personally, do you think that from your knowledge of him that he is capable to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria vis-a-vis your candidate from the APC? And of course, the popularity he's gained despite the fact that he was underestimated earlier on.
No, Ayo, I told you I'm not going to discuss this man, and I don't think it's fair on me to say for or against about him. I told you before, I have experience. Let me tell you my experience. I have run for president in 2007. I hope you know that. And I still have some votes in my pocket. Let me tell you the truth. This business is not what one region can come out and say they want to be. There are 6 regions here. And the leaders of all these regions must come together and say it must be this. Nigerian presidency is not for sale. It's a consensus thing that all political leaders in all the regions will be able to agree that is this man. Unless I see that in a candidate. Remember, I had fault and I didn't continue because I know that my region alone cannot make me president.
Okay. I think I will have to come back to things that are on ground. A lot of people watching this interview will be able to deduce that then those that blamed you for anti-party activity probably have a point. Because on this show, you have expressly amplified the prospects of your relative, which is in another party, over your own governorship candidates. You keep on saying you are a total party man. And being a total party man, people will argue with, is being a total party man even the days that are not convenient for you, which is the case in view of Mr. Emenike. So I'll ask you this as a moral question. Hang on a minute, Ogami. I'll ask you this as a moral question.
Can you wear your boxing? Are you not a member of APC supporting a candidate?
Ogami, we come a long way. So I'll ask you.
Are you campaign manager of Emenike?
I will ask you this.
Are you a campaign manager?
I will ask you this, my Oga.
No, I'm asking you. Are you a campaign manager?
I'm just a journalist doing my job, as you know very well. So I'll ask you this. Do you have a right, as a party loyal man, to pick and choose based on those you like and you don't like?
No, let me tell you. I told you before that Emenike have not formally informed me that he's running for governor. Let the president, Governor Tinubu, came to my house to inform me that he run for president. That is the truth. So I cannot campaign for somebody who doesn't want me to campaign for him. I cannot campaign for somebody who only yesterday was accusing me in OZOR of anti-party. I cannot campaign for somebody who campaigned against me openly, and I'm not campaigning against him. I've always told people of our state, let's vote for APC, let's vote for APC. So it is purely left for him to understand that party loyalty is on both ways. He did not give me his loyalty. I don't know why I should give him my loyalty. So it's on both ways. He had not even informed me formally. Private visit is not formally telling me that he's running for governorship. Governor is governor of Abia State. He's not governor of Ibere or governor of Nkwebu, where he comes from. No, he's governor of Abia State. He needs to carry his traditional rulers, carry his people to inform me formally. Go and ask Senator Tinubu the day he came to inform me. It was a 1 week notice, and rice were cooked. Stew were ready and everything in Abuja, and he came in a style and informed me that he's running for president. And we ate, we made I said, well, you are going to, if you win the nomination, I will support you. And that is the issue. I'm a party man. So stop pushing me around. You'll find if you want to be a campaign manager, you can resign from Arise or resign from media mogul, which you are, Senator, to come and be Emenike's campaign manager.
Senator, let's move on. Your point is made. Now, let me ask you. There was a recent broadcast, or, video out there by President Buhari, in which he said, well, he's not a candidate in this election, but he was endorsing Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu and that Nigerians should vote for him because he believes that that is the man who will build on his achievements. Do you think that that's a positive thing for the Tinubu campaign or a negative thing? And what are those achievements that the president is talking about during an election season when there is cash crunch? Even you yourself, you say you are suffering and you cannot get money to buy food. I don't know how many people will believe you. When, we're having issues also with fuel scarcity. What achievements can the APC probably sell as we go to the polls?
Well, let me tell you, I want to tell you straight, Dr. Akpati. The President Buhari have done a lot in terms of infrastructure. We have areas of our own weaknesses that also in terms of security, to be honest with you, President have done a lot. And President still have over 10 to 12 billion votes in his pocket. Any candidate the President supports will be the President of Nigeria. So it's not a minus, it's a plus that the campaign for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it's a plus for APC. I have no regret being a member of this party. People might view the way they want to view. People might call us all kinds of names they want to call. People might say we're another party, we're that party, and I'm a committed Christian, and I have no regret being in APC. So the campaign that President Buhari is doing for Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in order. Let me tell you, this is one president. From 2000, from 1999, I became governor. From Enugu to Aba, you cannot pass that road. We have worried so many times because of that road. We have presidents that did not do that road. But President Buhari have done those roads today. And in this budget supplementary appropriation, he also put additional 20 billion on that road. So if you go to all federal roads in Southeast, they have improvement. And they were not what they were before. So President Buhari have actually did this type of thing. But we have also done well in terms of security. But this security is a big challenge. Mind you, that we made a provision and a supplementary budget for the military for over 900 billion for supplementary budget on security. So when they are importing these arms, once the arms comes, we expect that they will deploy these things. Mind you, before, in the entire northeast, you cannot go anywhere. But the northeast areas have been restored, and these people, these bandits are not only bandits because they are bandits because there's economic interest. The gold and Zafara, all the minerals around the north, that is what people are struggling. Mind you, we are not fighting the fight of only bandits, we are fighting the fight of economic power. So I think, in my opinion, President have his good areas, they have done very well. They also have some areas, like President is a very private man. He's not a man that goes out. He has his public relation among people is very low. That I can tell you this. I've known the president for over 34 years. So his public relation among people can be very low. But not to say that this president has not done anything to campaign for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I think his campaigning for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a plus to APC. And will carry us a long way.
All right. Well, Senator ORJI KALU, if you do win the election this Saturday, do you believe that for the 10th Assembly, the Senate President would be zoned? It would depend on who wins. Do you think you would be gunning to being the next Senate President of Nigeria? Also, bearing in mind that last year when you withdrew from the presidential race, you actually backed the current Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, saying that you believe that the presidency for the next president should be zoned to either the southeast or the northeast. In fact, you stood solidly behind that, saying that was who you were going to support, even though now you're supporting Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But just to ask you, in the event that your party does win, would you be looking to being the next Senate President of Nigeria?
First of all, let me come from the bottom. when I said those things, many months before that nomination, Aswaji and Bola Ahmed Tinubu and I met many times, and I showed him I was not running for president. And I showed him, it is alive, he can testify to this. I told him in any event, my friend and brother, Senator Ahmed Lawal, who was my roommate in the university, if he did not win, I am out to work for you. And that is the truth. I was being very honest. I was being very sincere. Myself and Governor Tinubu, we were colleagues and we were family friends. My guests, two of my guests lived in this house when I left Victoria Land, Adeleka in my house there in 1999 when I came back to Abia. When we came back here, my two guests who were in French International School were living with Senator Endorse Tinubu. She's like their mother for over 3 years. So I have no sentiment on what I would like to do or support. So the issue of Senate President, I don't even think that I'm competent to talk about it before your camera here now, because I told you one thing: the party is supreme. The party will decide. During the first assembly in 2019, I did not give myself the chief whip, which I'm sitting today. I was sitting down one day. Governor Shibole came to me, and Governor Shibole was national chairman of the party. He gave me a list of offices, from the Senate leader to Senate this and that, about 4 positions or 5 positions. He said I should choose one. I asked him to give me a few days. And he gave me a few days. I consulted Chief George Mahalo, who also was with Oshimole, and I consulted one of my friends who had been Senate leader and asked him, what about this job? And he explained to me so many things. I said, well, I went back to Oshimole and said, give me the chief whip. And the party wrote. So I didn't give it to myself. I never asked for it. It was the decision of the party and the president of Nigeria, who is leader of our party, there to give it to me. If the party finds me worthy to represent them and represent Nigerians as a Senate president, why not? I'm capable. I have experience. A man that employs over 13,000 workers in Nigeria. I have the experience in the private sector, and I have the experience politically to govern anything that this woman touch. So I have no problem in being Senate president if it's given to me by party. But I'm not going to fight for it. I'm not going to struggle with anybody. My party knows what is good for every zone, and they should do it. And Nigeria will be safe and a place for people to live.
Okay, real quickly, what would you be doing for the hard-suffering people of your senatorial zone? What's your promise or your pledge to them as you seek their votes as we wrap up?
My senatorial zone are only suffering. They're looking for Naira. They have been treated very nicely. Let me be honest with you. They have never seen any senator do what I'm doing here. President Buhari has been very kind to this senatorial district. I'm telling you the truth. If incoming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be as kind as the President Buhari has been to this senatorial district, in another 4 years, will be a different place that you will live. So I don't care what anybody say. I don't say anything to please anybody. I say to please our constituency, who gave President Buhari 68% vote cast here, and he has repaid us fully because he has given us infrastructures, he has given us schools, he has given everything we wanted here. President Buhari have done it. It's a matter of give and take. We gave him the vote, he gave us development. I have no regret in following him. And anybody who wants to have regret, yes, they can have regret. There are areas that we didn't do well, but that is a talk for another day.
Well, thank you very much, Senator ORJI KALU. On that note, we'd like to wish you well. We'll take a short break now after this conversation with Senator ORJI KALU, representing Abia North Senatorial District.